it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts, and this week I'm actually bringing you a Simple Stamping Saturday classic, as in, I'm not pretending that something else is Simple Stamping Saturday. And this week we're using kind of one, maybe two stamp sets. Sorry, but for the simple version, just the one. And only 2 ink pads. So let me flip the camera down, making sure that everything's hidden, which it is. Although this will be interesting, could you let me know if the soundtrack is synced with the visual? Because I'm not convinced it is. In fact, I'm fairly certain it's not, but I don't know why. Anyway, this is the project that we are going to make today. It's really cute, which is just as well because it uses the Beary Cute stamp set. So this stamp set actually goes with 2 papers in the catalogue, but one of the papers goes with another stamp set as well, which is why I've ended up with 2 sets of stamps. Anyway, let me make this card first, and then I'll explain what on earth I'm talking about with the whole paper thing. And I should say I've got a little baby on the front. So, as ever, a note card and envelope. That's what I always use for Simple Stamping Saturday for the simple version. I need my memento. I need a garden green stamp set, ink pad. It can be any green you've got. I'm just using garden green because it then goes with the paper that I'm going to be using. But any green would do because we're going to make a Christmas tree. I say make. Stamp a Christmas tree. So I like to stamp the inside first. So my garden green inking, oh, that's 2 note cards and envelopes. Let's get rid of one of those. So I can see my crease is here, and I'm just going to come down into the bottom left corner and stamp my Christmas tree. I'm going to give it a little while for the ink to go from the stamp to the paper. That way I get a nice clean stamped image. Now I'm going to bring in my Memento Tuxedo Black, and I'm going to stamp the tree outline around the filler. Now it's not an exact fit, so don't get too caught up in it being an exact fit. It's not. All I would say is you want to try and get all of the green inside the black line. I find it easier to do it this way round than the other way round, but you may find it easier to do the memento and then the garden green, or whichever green you're going to use. I've got my standing bear, and this is the one that goes with the punch, that really cute punch. So I'm going to have him a little bit closer than that. So let's have our bear stamped. Oh, I need to go that way a bit. And while I've got that out, I'm going to do my Merry Christmas, which is from this stamp set, this is just one stamp set that I'm using on this card. So Merry Christmas. And again, while I've got the ink pad out, let's do the envelope as well with the little baby. Now, obviously, these can be brown bears or polar bears. So either is fine. Do whichever you want to do. And if you don't have any colouring medium, make it a polar bear. So we could just leave it like that. In fact, you know what? I'm going to just leave it like that because there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing I am going to do is I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella, because I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. Can you? I don't know if you can see that, but there is Wink of Stella on the edges. You can just about see it. So that one. So let me show you where I've put it, and it's just a little extra. I love Wink of Stella because it's one of those things that's really easy to use. It's just a paintbrush with glitter in it. They're relatively inexpensive. Now I am moving the ink around a little because it's only just been stamped. but I'm literally just scribbling because the tree is a scribble, so I might as well make this a scribble. And because I've gone polar bear, I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on the back of my polar bear as well, because it's catching that lovely Arctic light. So there we go. Let's see if that picks up. Probably won't. Oh, need to go that way a bit. No. Maybe when you watch it on YouTube. I've only got a very small screen. You can just see that there's a bit of grey here, but I think that's probably all you can see. For the colouring, I just used the Early Espresso watercolour pencil. That's in assortment 1, and I moved the ink around, or the pigment around, with the colour lifter, which is my preferred way of using the watercolour pencils now that I know that trick, because it doesn't pill the paper in the same way that the blender pen does, or heaven forbid a water painter, which would definitely be interesting on ordinary paper. So those are my 2 cards with their 2 little bear friends on the front. Really cute. I mean, it is called Berry Cute, and it is very cute. So those are those. Now I can't decide which of these is the more advanced version, so I'll show them to you in the order in which I made them. So this is the first one, and this uses the paper that is the give back paper. So it's the philanthropic paper. Say that after a late night. So it's the Walk in the Forest paper. So this is the sheet that I used, although I only used half a sheet for that. So we've got green tone-on-tone trees on the back. We've got berries and pine needles with pine needles on the back. We've got fir cones, berries. I guess this is mistletoe with snow on the back on balmy blue. This paper, which is so cute, and was where I got, oh no, it's not where I got these, but these, again, what you can use with the punch, one punch. Some of them are the wrong way round for the punch, but you could obviously fussy cut them. And that's got a classic candy cane stripe on the back. This is the paper that I've used for my 2 stepped up cards. And I've used both sides of it on one of them. Then we've just got Christmas trees and more stripes. The colour palette is an interesting colour palette. It's balmy blue, cherry cobbler, garden green, old olive. Totally get those. Pecan pie, kind of get that. Pretty peacock. That's where that slightly not sure if it's green or blue is coming from. So all I did with this was die cut using the Merriest Trees dies and just layered them all up. You can see the layers, hopefully, if I go that way. Yeah, you can see the layers. Now, I did do a bit of a cheat. This piece here is actually the top of this tree here, because it just meant that I could save on another tree. And you can't tell. So that works fine. And these are the, I want to say they're called the, oh, here, no, that's not what they're called. I want to say, here they are. I can tell you what they're called. Red and green adhesive back pearls. They're in the annual catalogue. They were in last year's mini catalogue, and they come in gold, silver. It's actually soft suede. Not soft suede, soft succulent, which we don't have anymore, but it is that kind of green tone. And then cherry cobbler, and I've used the cherry cobbler and the gold for this. And then I've used the Joy and, or Love and Joy from the Merriest Trees stamp set, purely because I'd run out of space. And then some of the garden green ribbon, which is in the duo with cherry cobbler. But I wanted to I didn't want to introduce a lot of cherry cobbler, so I used the garden green, and this was just punched out. My other version is this card, which is a very easy fun fold. I stamped, using the Merriest Trees, I stamped in garden green and then heat embossed with gold, and I used the, as I say, the Love and Joy stamp. Now, the bear, which again is punched out of the paper, I've just backed with a piece of ordinary basic white for two reasons. A, it gives it some strength, but also it means you're not seeing the backside of the paper when you open the card up. And this is one side and this is the other of the same sheet. So it's this is the A side of this. So those are my 3 cards for today. So we have the polar bear, the brown bear, and then the 2 stepped up versions. So I hope you did enjoy that. I will try to get ahead and do some more Simple Stamping Saturdays ready to go. The slight problem we have in Europe at the moment is that we are either very low in stock or out of stock of quite a lot of the papers, which I don't like to do videos that use things that aren't in stock, because I think that's mean, because it means you can't get them. So hence I've used the Walk in the Forest paper rather than the paper that goes with the Very Cute suite, because that is, I can't remember if it's out of stock or low stock. So by the time you see this, it may not be there. So that is why I've used the paper that I have. But it does therefore give us a challenge on what papers we can use. Quite a lot of the papers are not due back in until the 30th of October. We're not, at the time I'm filming this, in fact, at the time you watch this, we're not even in October yet. So that's kind of where we are. That's not to say that you have to have pattern paper if you're making cards. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for joining me today. If you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up is always appreciated. In fact, let me do that, then I can do it properly. So yes, thumbs up, always appreciated. Questions below the description bar. There will be a link in the description bar to both the items that I used in my online store and also to the blog post that goes with this video, so you can go and have a look at the close-up photos and see a bit more chat and stuff. Anyway, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Bye for now.